Waiting on you, Jim. Kidding. All
Hi,
right,
Jeanette.
let's call the meeting to order. And it looks like we have, for the Finance Committee, we have four elements that are on the docket here. Why don't we do Rhonda first? So that has to do with item number 2, 52-5-20. Rhonda, are you on the line? Can you just unmute just for a second?
I can unmute her. There you go, Rhonda.
Rhonda, are you there? All right, I'm going to wait a little bit and I'm going to go on to Carl. And so
Okay.
that's item number 4. Mosquito Control Director requests approval of an emergency aerial spray operation. I've read that. I get the gist of it, but Carl, you want to just kind of give us maybe a 2-minute backgrounder?
Absolutely. So you're aware of the impact that the COVID restrictions have had on our staff. So we have about half the number of technicians out working currently. And then we get hit with this significant flooding event. And not only was it a flood from obviously the dam failure, we had a lot of rain that fell across the county, which always produces mosquito habitat for us. So wanted to come up with some kind of a way of providing relief to people in the county. And based on 2017, we had a pretty good idea what we can expect. And so fortunately, I was put in contact, thanks to Bridget, with Dow Governmental Affairs, which facilitated this request, and it's been approved. So now we're in the process of having you consider it and see how we want to go forward with it. It's at the current time, I'm considering about 110 to 120,000 acres of treatment across the county, 2 different times in the month of June. To put that into context, that's almost double what we do during our spring larviciding program. Another significant difference is this is targeting adult mosquitoes, not standing water and killing mosquitoes in the larval stage. So it's a first for this. It's not uncommon in the mosquito control industry. A lot of districts down in Florida that have significant populations of coastal mosquitoes will do this on a routine basis, but it's a first for us, and it's going to be similar to the treatments that were done, for instance, downstate last year for Eastern equine encephalitis. I think that we, given our community here and their familiarity with our program and the history of what we do here, I think it'll be well received. And so I've got some ideas for how to approach this with a press briefing and some other things, but just wanted to kind of lay it out in general terms. And if you have any questions, obviously, I'd be glad to address those. Currently assessing, by the way, 2 different contractors, and VDCI is one of them that does emergency sprays in this kinds of situation on a routine basis. The other is Clark Mosquito Control, and that was the company that did the treatment down in the lower part of the state last year.
Okay. I have 2 questions, then I'll open up to Jim and Jeanette. Number 1, what role did Dow Government Affairs have on this?
Nothing more than to get this in front of the governor and the directors of the various state agencies that needed to facilitate it to happen. That's really all that they did, but it was very helpful.
Did we need some regulatory approval for this, or what role did the governor have then? I'm not sure why this went to the governor, or what is it she's doing?
Because in such a situation, we're in an emergency situation to approve the the treatment to the scale that we're looking to do would definitely does take the agencies, MDARD in particular, and Eagle has been in contact with me because there's permitting that's needed to be required. And so a number of things that need to be facilitated at the state level.
Okay. And my second question, just a simple one. What kind of application are we talking about? Is this fogging? Is this flyover? What is this?
It would be analogous to our trucks, our nighttime fogging trucks, but an aerial application of that. So that's what it is. It's a aerial fogging.
Oh, aerial fogging. And we've never done aerial fogging before?
We have not.
Okay. Okay. Jeanette, Jim?
Yes.
Questions?
Would FEMA come in and help us on that?
I can answer that.
Go ahead, Bridget.
They won't help us on that, but the cost is going to be included. I am going to include the cost of this aerial spraying in our preliminary damage assessment. I had a call with some other folks with a consultant who's sort of volunteering some of her time for us. And she mentioned mosquito abatement without even knowing that we actually have a mosquito abatement program. So she's dealt with floods in other areas and after hurricanes and the different vectors of mosquitoes that have come in and caused public health risks. So she mentioned it, and I have already written it down, though I haven't had a chance to talk to Carl yet about getting me some solid numbers. And estimate high, please, so that we can include this with our PDA that we send down to the state on Friday. So I'll
Sounds
need
good.
that. Yeah, I'll need that.
Putting it in the spreadsheet right now.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
It's
Yep,
already
so
in
we don't
there,
want to
yeah.
forget. Yep, we don't want to
Mhm.
forget about that. Mike's helping coordinate that on the county's end. Dave Keenan's helping us coordinate at the city. So yes, something I wouldn't have thought about. If nothing else, the call at least brought out some things that we hadn't discovered or hadn't really anticipated as eligible reimbursement costs that should be included in our preliminary damage assessment. So
Are we including anything in Gladwin County on this?
no, because they do their own.
Do they do their own?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could go together with them. I have not. I invited Bob North, their emergency manager, to the call. I haven't heard anything from him. They don't have a me in Gladwin.
They don't have a
Nor-
what?
A
Oh,
me.
you.
They don't have a me.
No, they couldn't be
Nobody's
that
got
lucky, Bridget.
Yeah.
Nobody-
Oh, thanks, Jim. But no,
You're
they
welcome.
don't even have someone in a role like mine in Gladwin.
Right.
So right now, this is really trying to focus on Midland County and this is the public assistance and private nonprofit numbers that we're trying to pull together. So this is certainly something that we are going to include. So
Okay. Jim, Jeanette?
Yes, that was my
Okay.
only function.
So I have
Okay.
a question. Carl, what time of day is this going to be done? And is there any problems with people out jogging, or when the trucks come by to spray? I don't like to be out walking. So I'm just curious if you could enlighten us on that.
Yes, and this is why we'll be doing an effort to engage with the public and press on this. When it's released from the plane and by the time it settles down, it has dispersed to the point where you're getting a very low dose in any area. So there is not a requirement. Obviously, people are welcome to, if they choose to, seek shelter, but it's not a requirement, and everybody should be fine. I don't think anybody will even detect when the material settles down over an area. It's not anything you can smell. And by the way, the product that I've selected is a organically labeled adulticide material, a mosquito adulticide material. So with regard to concerns of what we're putting out and dispersing across the county, I think there is no other product that I could have selected that would have less of, I guess, concern among the public, perhaps.
I appreciate that. So when you say it has less of effect when it hits the ground, so where are you killing the mosquitoes? In the air or closer to the ground?
It works just like our fogging does. So you target it and it's done. By the way, you asked me what time of the day. It's done in the evening, within a half an hour before sunset and into an hour or two afterwards. So it'll be a time scale very similar to when we do our nighttime fogging.
Okay. And just remind me again, where does it kill the mosquitoes? In the air then?
Yes, those that are flying around, and that's why you do it in the evening, because you want to target it when they are most active.
When they-
So that's-
Okay,
That's how they're killed. As they're flying, they get a lethal dose.
okay, thanks.
Okay,
You can
great.
make it a double lethal dose around my house.
Who
Same.
passes by your place?
Yeah,
I won't be flying that night.
and just so I'm clear, what you need is an approval for this, this special spraying and also a budget adjustment, is that correct?
Yes, that's what we'll need. We're going to be initially paying for this from our reserve funds. And I can speak to that, or Mike might, but, and furthermore, just to let you know, hopefully by Friday, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, should this move forward, I will hopefully have the contractor recommendation ready, so that hopefully we can get it arrange something for next week if we're able to move forward with this. So by Friday, I'll have something ready for you all if we meets and this is discussed in committee or in the board, sorry.
So when can we actually put out a press release to kind of condition the public that this is coming?
I'm ready whenever you think it's okay to do so.
Well, we kind of have to wait until board approval, don't we? Yeah, we do. So,
It can be ready to go Friday after the board meets.
okay. And Carl, are you taking the lead on that? Just so I know.
Yeah, he will.
I am,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, great. Any further questions? Doesn't sound like any. I would entertain a motion to approve this and to make the necessary budget adjustments.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate all you're doing, keeping us safe. This is a true public health issue. So go on, do good.
Thank you all. I appreciate the support.
Okay.
Scott, Rhonda has, she's called in on her phone. I'll unmute her.
Okay,
Rhonda, can you
great.
hear me?
Yes,
Okay, great.
Okay, so we're going to talk about item number 2, 52-5-20. Administrator Controller submits a grant award in the amount of $200,000 from the Roland Gearstacker Foundation in support of Pinecrest Farms multi-generational space. And Rhonda, thanks for joining us. I'm not sure we've ever met, but do appreciate everything out there at Pinecrest. And I think we've done a pretty fantastic job of securing money here for this multi-generational space. I think this is one of those where pretty hard to vote against this one. Free money. I just would, Rhonda or Bridget, can you just give us a lowdown of where we stand overall in terms of foundations and
Sure. I can tell you that although you're only approving the grant from the Gerstacker Foundation, Rhonda sent me an email either late last week or yesterday, I'm losing track of my days, that we have had communication from the Strosacker Foundation, and they've agreed to the $125,000, I think it was, Rhonda, correct me if I'm wrong, number that we asked, we requested of them. So right now, I believe we have all of the funding that we have requested for the whole project, and you will see the grant from the Strosacker Foundation at the next meeting.
right. But aren't we still a little short, or did we?
No, we agreed to that we could commit some money internally as
Okay.
matching. And then we also had an in-kind match from Fisher Contracting.
Oh, excellent.
Mhm. So of
Fantastic.
some materials that they're providing for the grading.
Okay. Rhonda, I know your microphone looks muted there. Do you want to add anything else?
She's not, she's got two, she's called in phone and she's logging in so she can see
Oh.
us. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
so Rhonda, if you have anything to add, please feel free to do so.
Guess not.
She must be good.
Okay. Jim, Jeanette, questions?
No questions.
Would entertain a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
I'll support it.
Moved and supported. Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Wonderful. Love free money.
All right,
Let's
thanks,
move.
Rhonda. Thanks, Rhonda.
I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you, Rhonda. Wherever you are. Okay, let's go to item 1 now. And this is Health Director submits yet another amendment to the comprehensive agreement with Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. And as I understand this, Bridget, this is an additional money
Right,
for COVID use.
Yep.
And it can be used for testing, supplies. I'm assuming we'll have no problems using this money.
no, none at all.
Okay,
If you think about the number, even just for the clinic we had this weekend with the National Guard, pretty much all of the health department staff was on site to help facilitate that process. Cannot say enough good things about how that went, and the team of people that we had from the county working on making sure people got in and out quickly and facilitated the process. And Mother Nature cooperated too, and we had great weather.
sure did.
I can tell you that the National Guard sent 5 teams on Saturday, and because of the response, they sent 7 teams on Sunday.
Do you know what the total number of folks?
Yep,
were?
just over 2,400.
Okay, that was for both days. I thought that was
Yes.
just for Saturday.
That was total.
And
We
do you,
yeah, it was over 1,400 on Sunday.
gotcha. Do you have an idea what this whole thing cost us?
I don't.
Any idea?
I mean, the National Guard didn't cost us anything. I
Right.
can't give you an estimate of wages, but it's really staff time that is what we invested, so.
Okay, will that be included in our COVID? Well, I guess
Well, we're using this funding for that, so.
for that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we haven't applied for any sort of declaration for COVID relative to FEMA because we didn't have, the number of positive tests nor the hot spots like other parts of the state did.
Right, right.
So,
Okay, makes sense to me. Jim, Jeanette?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's money we're getting from the state to reimburse us for expenses, right? So,
Right.
right.
But this is not, this is money we get. We don't have to submit claims or anything.
Nope.
That's even better.
yeah,
Okay, I would entertain an emotion to approve 51-5-20.
I'll
I'll support it.
Okay, I'm assuming you moved it, James, and Jeanette
Yes.
supported it?
yes, I moved it.
Okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That motion passes. I think we have one more here, and that's Equalization Director requests approval of the Michigan Department of Treasury Form 614. For some reason, I feel like we did this one already. Did we not?
You do this about twice a year.
This form?
Yeah, there's a couple different forms that you have to do.
Okay, I
Um,
thought we did one just very recently, but I may be
You-
wrong.
No, you probably did. It wasn't that 4029 though, it was a different number. But the 4029 is done twice, one for the December levy and one for the July levy.
Yeah,
And the
okay,
July levy is just the general operating millage.
right. Right. I have no problems with this.
Me neither.
Jeanette, no? Jim?
I'll pass it
Okay,
or
you're
support
moving?
it. Move it.
I'll support what Jim moved.
Whatever he said. Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, that's all I have on the action items. Any parting shots? Seeing none, I will call for an adjournment. Would somebody want to move that?
I'll move that.
All right,
I'll
we are
support it.
officially, we're adjourned and we'll see each other at 2:30 for A&O. Is that correct?
At 2:30 for A&O.
All right, thank you all.